Okay, I'm back. It's pretty late in the day. It's gonna be dark soon, but I got all of my other things done, and I didn't really have a big feeling like I wanted to paint today. I mean, the last few weekends and really through the week too, I was sort of moved to create. I did a little writing yesterday, so maybe some of that was what came out. But I've also been sick. My daughter was sick, and then of course I was sick. So I don't know. I just haven't had that much with me, but um, I think it's been really helpful as an exercise to do some painting and some creative stuff and filming it, and that's been good for me. It's helped me through the week to stay really centered and not freak out about things and try to um, you know stay grounded. I'm still, I was thinking of it before that I was trying to extract the cave experience, but it's really more than that. I went to several shamanic Stargate experiences and Reiki and a lot of things, a lot of meditations. In addition to my regular meditation, I went to an ashram and all these things. I'm kind of, I think, sort of as we come into fall and it's starting to feel like the end of the year, I'm starting to look back on kind of the whole cycle. I know astrologically, in the eclipse season, and then this being, the going back to the eclipses of 2019 and 20 and all that kind of stuff that I read about. I don't know. I'm just sort of I'm feeling like I'm leaving one cycle and starting another. Although I feel that way all the time. So when is anything going to start? It feels like I'm always waiting for something to start. So that's the kind of thing that I've been thinking about. Am I waiting for something to start, or am I just starting it? And I think just starting it. I think about the things that have gone on over the last few years and all of the changes that I've talked about before. And I think looking back now, there's been an incredible amount of change in the last 2 years, and everything about my life is different. And I am very, very different from how the laundry is done. See, I put the laundry in. I did prioritize the laundry. We've been sick, so I washed like everything in the house, all of our sickness. But so from the last few years, isn't it nice? It plays a song. Should we dance? Should we sing along with it? So that's distracting me so much. I know. Just hit pause. It'll be done. Okay, now that's it. So what I was thinking about, I did some writing, and I actually, wrote some creative things that I'll maybe do some drawing to later. And the art paint night that I was doing with Horizons, that's been postponed. So I have a little more time to work on designs for that and have some ideas. So those are things that I really should do. But the frame of mind that I'm in was less about I'm so inspired to paint that I need to do it. I just have to, I have to get this information out, and more about I started something and it's been working for me, and whether it means anything or not. And now we're back to what does it become on the page, and what is this turning into? It doesn't turn into anything. It can turn into something or nothing, but that isn't the point of why I do this kind of painting. And sometimes the expression is, oh, I just have all of this creativity and all of this kind of feeling and information that needs to come out. And sometimes it's just, I just need to do this. I need to have spent some time in that meditative space that's not, sitting down and meditating and, in my normal way, but that has more to do with visual diary that lets things come out that I haven't been consciously thinking of or processing, while I'm doing laundry and things like that. So I've been very practical this week because I've been sick, she's been sick, we've been just kind of getting through. We had Halloween and, all of this stuff, but I feel like I will miss it. I feel like maybe things won't go as well for me. I felt myself toward the end of the week kind of losing my patience. I was sick too. And so, I'm not, not perfect, and I don't expect myself to be, but this exercise is really helpful for me. So even if I don't feel like it, it's a little bit like exercise, right? Like I still went for my walk and I still did my exercise. So, this is the same thing. Doing this kind of stuff is sort of exercise for my um, feelings, well being, mental state, calmness, and my ability to handle things that come through. And, this week we have a few things that will come through. So I should do this. But so what am I gonna do? I'm gonna half-ass it. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay. Not that beaten up palette wasn't half-assed enough to begin with, but I'm just gonna get some paint markers out. I'm just gonna kind of just move around with it a little bit, and we'll see what comes out. We'll see if anything is, I don't know. I was gonna say useful. I'm gonna grab the whole. I have a whole bucket. I'm just gonna grab the whole bucket of stuff, and I'll just grab things as I go. So first of all, I was thinking, like, should I get the really big ones? And I do a lot with this. So I'm gonna take this, kind of smaller one, and I'm gonna, I don't know, I'm just gonna start doing something. Because I don't really have any plan at all. And okay, so here's the first thing that happens, right? Again, I'm going to try to keep my head out of the picture so that you can see what I'm doing. But so I just kind of grabbed a space, and as I make this mark, I want to do this, like, I just wanted to bring it up. Now I don't like that ledge there, I don't like that. But that's okay, right? Because I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to let it work itself out and maybe tell me what it should be. I mean, this feeling is quite a bit different than the sort of fluid, watery stuff that was there before. But look, that came right where it should be. So I'm just making some marks, and when I get a feeling for where it should be, so I like that. That just did something here, and so now I have this big spot there, but I don't know. I feel like it could go here. I feel like another big spot could go here. I'm not sure why. Let me try to go to the side. But I just kind of thought about, and so like there were some white spots there that I kind of liked, and I almost left them there. And this I want to go here. And that movement, as I make it, and I'm coloring it in to sort of make it bigger, it's picking up this faint line that we saw earlier a few videos back. I mean, I'm sure you're watching all the videos and memorizing each move and everything that I say, right? You, the who knows? Nobody who's watching it. People who are maybe insomniac, or just, I don't know if this is a good idea, but I'm doing it anyway. I feel like they need to connect. So I feel like I'm forcing this a little bit, but I'm just going to go with it. I'm just going to go. We'll see what happens. Ooh, okay. All right. So what am I doing here? Okay. This. See this? So, as I see that, I just want to launch over here. Okay, now I'm like, oh, I'm just going across everything. I am just, in some ways I'm bringing things together, and other things I'm just crossing lines. Like, look at this, I've crossed in over here. Should I be worried about that? Like, is that a problem? Does that maybe fit or not fit? I don't know. But I'm just being sloppy about it. And this is the part when I get into painting or doing anything, right? That is always hardest because you get to these parts where you're like, oh, I kind of like where this is going, or this looks nice, but it's not done, you know, and I'm not making something to look nice. I'm examining myself. I'm kind of talking to myself on this canvas so that I can understand maybe what's going on with me or what I'm thinking about. And I think what I'm thinking about is, control and complication, right? So I'm using something that I have a lot of control over that makes these finer lines. Like, look, here's one. Here's one that it's homeless, right? It needs, see, in this, see that? See how it's dark there, but these two don't line up. There we go. Okay, now we picked somebody up. So I'm going to go around the other side. So this just developed itself because it was sort of like just lonely there, and it wasn't really attaching to anything, but it felt like it should. It kind of just picked up this line, and then it just grabbed itself into the rest of the picture, brought some thicker spaces into here. It's like this. That could be thicker. Now I'm trying not to get my hand in that part. But so I mean, I'm trying to be a little quicker on this one because I don't know how much I'm feeling like being into it, but the things that I notice is always with blue, right? Like when in doubt, go with my trusty blue. I just love blue. I'm always doing stuff with blue. But I still have this fluid motion, okay? But I'm using something I have more control over, and I'm trying to connect these. I'm trying to connect these spaces. So before, when I was just pushing out, just releasing, I think is a good word for it, just releasing, it had a lot to do with the cave experience, and I'm picturing myself in there, and I doing the breathing and laying there, and like just how released I felt. Like I've had a lot of lessons, and it's that difference between like the things that hurt and the good that came out of it, and I've been wrestling with that right lately because it's like it's coming to the end, the end of the year. I don't know what. It feels like something should move forward soon. It feels like a next step will come, and always divine timing, universe, just things just come when they're supposed to, and if I look back on the few years, everything really did have a purpose. Even the things that I was like, oh, again, why? No more. Like I promise I won't. Like I learned something, just no more lessons. But they were still, even the ones that came after that, there was more and more and more and more, and none of those would have happened without the lesson that came before that, and the painful things and all of the stuff that I had to go through. Each one built on each other to get me to here, and here is really good. It's really good. It's kind of like when you don't see somebody for a while, right? Like when you see somebody every day, everything, any changes in them, how they look or what they're doing or their appearance, anything like that, is gradual, right? So you don't really notice it until you look back on a picture from, quite a while ago. And for me, of course, the massive appearance change, took place in the beginning, but there have been so many sort of internal and I would say like energetic changes for me, lifestyle and everything else. That to me, now when I see some of the things, I recently reread some things that I thought I had deleted, some messages and things that I thought I'd long ago deleted, and I happened to they were somehow they popped up on my phone, and I don't know how, because I really I very seriously deleted those. Consciously, really let go. And I saw some of those things, and I saw myself, what my part in the conversation, and it seems so not me now. And I think, here we have the two parts, right? We have these broader strokes. We have, the big thing, and when I was doing it, I was thinking about what's happening right now, and I'm kind of in the present, and what was going on with the cave, and the shamanic experiences and stuff in the last year, and I'm doing that in a big way. And then now I come in and I'm like, I don't really want to do anything, and so let's just talk about what I'm reflecting on right now, and so it starts to come out like, oh, I'll just throw something up. And while I wasn't paying attention and wasn't trying to do anything, like these messages that came up, that I had deleted, they turned up again, and I was reading them, and it's that's, while I wasn't paying attention, I start making these marks, and it comes out at me. Here, I'm trying to bridge. I'm trying to not bridge. I'm trying to connect the larger picture of now, and sort of build these little roads, these little, I want to say sinew. I don't know why I want to say that. Maybe because it just, the wound, stitches, wound, sinew. I'm plants, the veins. I'm trying to integrate. I'm trying to integrate where I am now, the big picture of all of the stuff that I've learned, and the healing, the stitching it together, and veins. So stitching it together sort of implies healing it, but the veins, they stay part of you. They route that energy, and they route the blood, but I'm thinking in terms of they route that, that's how it flows. That's how it flows through you. So maybe there's something to do with that. It's structure and healing and all of that together, and it really does feel like it has something to do with that big picture, looking at myself from where I am now, but seeing myself as the me of 2 years ago or 3 years ago, at the beginning of all these changes, seeing the me that I was then, that I've sort of forgotten. I've forgotten me, her. I've forgotten the me of that time, and what I thought, and where I was, and I've come so far, and in really good ways, I think. I mean, really good ways. But she was doing a good job too. So I don't know that I need to leave all of her behind. Maybe there's still some good lessons there for me to think about now that I'm kind of getting into the fine print. I'm getting into the detail of it. We have the big picture, and now it's the thread, not the fabric, right? Maybe there's something to consider as I go through this week. That person was I think maybe a little more open, a little more optimistic. I don't know, not optimistic, because I'm pretty optimistic now. Things are going very well, but I think I don't know. There's some good things in there, I think, that I need to think about. Maybe work her in a little bit, right? And maybe doing some more detail might draw out something. But I look at this got more eggs. We're getting the eggs again. So it's a little bit of an egg and kind of branches. We're still like, it's still got that like plant and like veins and blood and stuff going. It's both. So step back a little further. You can't see too much over here. I'm gonna make one turn, not that way. Okay, sorry, that's what just came into my head when I said that, was not that way. So looking at it this way, I just feel like I needed to see it from another angle. Yeah, and now we're back to that. Remember before we had that big open space and I was like, oh no, we need to fill that. Well, I feel like we have it again, right? Where did we start? This was the small one, and then I feel like this was the open space and we filled it, and now we have another open space that, as I look at it, now this whole thing looks, maybe because it's Halloween or whatever, but it kind of has that Halloween tree thing going, and I almost see like a tree, but a fish. Wait, what's that? A fish. Where'd that come from? See his head, and he's kind of twisting this way. How do we get a fish in there? What does that mean? I had in the spring, I was doing, you know, some things that ended up with like a fish that was, and then, hope we don't have it like, you know, an eviscerated fish here, like gutted and whatever. I don't like the implication of that, but I do see that movement of a fish again, and you know, maybe there's something going on with that. As we turn it around, it kind of gives me some other ideas, but particularly where I thought I had closed up a space over here. I thought I had one large space, and I thought I had filled that. It's like we have another big open space again, and this one is really in motion. So that's interesting. Hopefully that means I'm in motion. So for whatever, I you know, I ended up with more to think about than I anticipated. So that's good. All right. Well, I will leave it there and I don't know, finish the laundry and think about what I'm integrating. Okay. Hopefully that made sense if anybody watched it. Thanks. Bye.